Apple is raising iPhone prices by up to $300, and there might not be enough iPhones to actually buy. This September, we have a new CEO, a new price ceiling, and a chip shortage that nobody in the mainstream press is taking seriously enough. I've gone through every credible source on the iPhone 18 Pro launch, the dates, the numbers, the supply chain reality, and there's one detail that keeps standing out. It's not the price, it's not the foldable. We'll get there. The iPhone 18 Pro launch is about 6 weeks away. And I know every September people say this one's different. This one actually is. We're talking about a potential $300 price increase, a global chip shortage that could limit supply, a foldable iPhone starting above $2,000, and for the first time in 15 years, a new face on that Apple stage. So let's go through this properly. Dates first, then what's actually launching, then the prices, which deserve their own conversation, then the part that I think most people are sleeping on. Here's the timeline as it stands. The keynote is almost certainly happening on Wednesday, September 9th. Apple has held its fall iPhone event in the first half of September every single year since 2011, without exception. This year, Labor Day falls on Monday, September 7th. Apple has never, not once, scheduled its keynote on the day after Labor Day. So, despite what some outlets are reporting about September 8th, I don't think that's happening. September 9th, the announcement confirming that date, expected on Wednesday, August 26th. That's based on a pattern that's held for the last 4 years. Apple announces exactly 14 days before the keynote. If you want to circle something on your calendar right now, circle August 26th. That's when this officially becomes real. Pre-orders open Friday, September 11th, most likely at 5 in the morning Pacific, 8 Eastern. And the iPhone 18 Pro release date, the actual on-sale date, is Friday, September 18th. Simple, clean, predictable. The dates are not the complicated part of this launch. So what are you actually getting this September? 3 phones, iPhone 18 Pro, iPhone 18 Pro Max, and the iPhone Ultra, Apple's first ever foldable iPhone. That's it. No standard iPhone 18, no iPhone Air 2. Those are coming in early 2027. So if you were waiting for the base model refresh, you're waiting longer. Now, the iPhone Ultra, the foldable, is genuinely the wild card here. It's going to command most of the attention in that Steve Jobs theater. It will likely command most of the pre-order demand. And that is where things get complicated. Because here's the thing, when one product absorbs the oxygen in a launch, supply chain pressure follows it. And the supply chain this year is already under pressure before the Ultra even exists. Let's talk about the price hikes, because I want to be specific here, not vague. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who has the best Apple track record in the business, was asked directly, will Apple raise iPhone prices this year? His answer was absolutely no doubt. He pointed to 3 reasons: memory chip shortages, which are driving up component costs across the board, the more expensive camera systems in the 18 Pro and Pro Max, and the premium design of the foldable Ultra. His reference point, the Mac and iPad price bumps Apple already rolled out this year, mostly in the $100 to $200 range. He expects the iPhone to follow the same playbook. So, what does that actually mean in dollars? The iPhone 18 Pro Max currently starts at $1,099. Add $100 to $200 and you're at $1,199 to $1,299 as the new floor. Some analysts are forecasting a $300 jump, which puts the entry point at $1,399. And the Ultra, prepare yourself. The current expectation is a starting price of at least $2,000, possibly more. For context, Samsung's latest foldable is $1,900. Apple will position the Ultra as the premium option above that, which, if you think about it, Apple is about to sell a phone that costs more than most laptops. and people will buy it. That's not a criticism. That's just Apple's reality in 2026. Okay, this is the part I actually want you to pay attention to because the dates are public knowledge, the prices are educated guesses, but the shortage situation, that's the real story. Reuters ran a piece asking whether Apple is heading for an iPhone shortage this year. Not because Apple is mismanaging anything, but because AI infrastructure projects and data centers are consuming memory chips and processors at a scale that has genuinely disrupted supply. At Apple's most recent earnings call, Tim Cook, who steps down as CEO on September 1st, 3 days before the keynote announcement, said the supply constraints will increase significantly in the months ahead. Increase significantly. Samsung thinks this chip shortage lasts until at least 2028. So here's what this means practically. If the iPhone Ultra generates the kind of pre-order volume people are expecting, and a foldable Apple device absolutely will, Apple may not be able to fulfill that demand immediately. Shipment delays, longer wait times, the same thing that happened with the iPhone 15 Pro Max at launch, except the demand this time is probably higher and the supply constraints are more severe. If you want one of these phones in your hands on September 18th, pre-orders open September 11th at 5 in the morning. Set an alarm, seriously. John Ternus becomes Apple CEO on September 1st. He then walks onto the Steve Jobs theater stage on September 9th for the first time as the face of Apple. That hasn't happened since Steve Jobs introduced Tim Cook in 2011. I'm not saying the phones are different because of who's presenting them, but the symbolic weight of this launch, new CEO, foldable iPhone, record price points, makes it one of the most layered September events Apple has ever had. Whether Ternus brings a different energy to that stage, we'll find out. So let's bring this together. September 9th, keynote. September 11th, pre-orders. September 18th, on sale. 3 phones, 18 Pro, 18 Pro Max, and the Ultra. Price hike of somewhere between $100 and $300 on the Pro models. Ultra starting above $2,000. A chip shortage that could make supply tighter than usual. And a new CEO presenting all of it for the first time. My honest read, if you're planning to upgrade, move fast. The combination of high demand for the Ultra and constrained chip supply is a setup for delays. Pre-order the moment it opens. If you're on the fence about whether the price jump is worth it, that answer depends entirely on what the 18 Pro actually delivers, and we don't have that yet. But I'll tell you this, if the price floor on the Pro Max is $1,299 and the performance uplift is incremental, which it very often is in non-S years, that's a harder sell than Apple's marketing will make it look. The Ultra, though, if the foldable experience is genuinely polished at launch, and that's a big if for a first-generation product, that's the one that changes the conversation. Not just for Apple, for the entire smartphone market. I'm genuinely curious what you're planning to do this September. Are you buying day one or waiting to see how the Ultra holds up in the real world? Let me know below because that conversation is going to be more interesting than usual this year.